Hey carnivores, are you tired of dry, bland chicken that leaves you feeling unfulfilled at mealtime? If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. I'll share my step-by-step process for achieving the lowest effort, juiciest chicken and the secrets to perfectly crisp chicken skin. Before we start cooking, I want to let you know that if you end up enjoying this video, you might just love joining my community, the Steak and Butter Gang. SBG is literally a treasure trove of carnivore recipes, meal plans, course videos, live calls, and so many posts filled with incredible knowledge and tips. If you are ever confused about how to go carnivore, or how to troubleshoot carnivore, or how to make carnivore enjoyable, delicious, and fun, the Steak and Butter Gang is a one-stop shop to tackle all of those things. So if you guys want to join us anytime, just go to the URL shown on the screen, sbgmeetup.com, or check out the links down below in the description box. All right, let's start with the ingredients overview. And here I am showing off 3 different cuts of chicken that you can use this recipe on. I guarantee that all 3 will turn out juicy and delicious. So on the left, we have skin-on chicken breast, then a skinless chicken breast in the middle, and finally a skin-on chicken thigh on the right side. And by the way, I didn't think I would ever say this, but chicken breast actually tastes super delicious if you cook it correctly. And I got all 3 cuts for $6.99 per pound at my local farmer's market. So this recipe will be a great way to save money on a carnivore diet. To ensure that our chicken comes out as juicy as possible, we are going to need an animal fat to coat it in. I highly recommend an animal fat with a high smoking point like ghee, as I'm showing, or beef fat, also known as tallow. Let's start off by preparing our chicken breasts. I found a makeshift meat tenderizer, and here I am just tenderizing the thickest part of the chicken breast so that it has a uniform same level of thickness throughout the cut of chicken. This will make sure that our chicken breasts cook evenly and will not be dry in some spots while being juicy in others. Also, it's important to note that if you do cook 2 chicken breasts at a time like I will, make sure that both pieces are the same size. So both of these are 7-ounce pieces of chicken breast, although one is skin on, the other is skinless. I will say that the skin on chicken breast turned out way more delicious in my opinion because it did deliver the crunch factor by having that crispy, crunchy skin. But let's say you can only find skinless chicken breast, then you can simply add more fat by making my fatty dipping sauce, which I'll teach you later in this video, to make sure that you are not eating too lean for a carnivore diet. Once we've pounded our chicken breast to be the same width throughout, we are now going to work on our rub. This rub is really flavorful and it provides a nice kick, and I made this specifically for my husband's palate since he does need a lot of flavor, which is totally normal. I get it. I'm just a boring carnivore who loves plain meat. So the skin on chicken breast is for me, and for him I prepared a mix of spices that included paprika, garlic powder, pepper, dried thyme, and some salt. Now let's coat our chicken breasts with the animal fat of choice. Here I decided to go with the ghee that I showed. I warmed it up, let it melt, and then I generously coated both pieces with the melted ghee. The ghee did provide an extra boost of flavor and depth, but if you're sensitive to ghee, you can of course use beef fat, also known as tallow. Don't forget to flip the chicken breasts and coat the bottom as well. I went ahead and set aside my skin-on chicken breast since I want it plain, and for my husband, I rubbed on the spice mix on both sides of this skinless chicken breast. If you are only cooking skinless chicken breasts, you can go ahead and skip this step that I'm about to show entirely. For those cooking skin-on chicken breasts, I highly recommend this step for the crispiest chicken skin. So we're going to prepare our stainless steel pan, if you're using one, and make sure you preheat it until the water droplets dance on the pan. So just do a quick water droplet test. The water droplets should be dancing all over. That's how you know your stainless steel pan is ready to cook perfect meat without sticking. Now we will grease our pan with whatever animal fat we have on hand, preferably one with a high smoke point like ghee or beef tallow. Coat the entire pan, then we're going to drop in our skin-on chicken breast with the skin facing down. We're doing all of this just to crisp up the chicken skin, not to cook the meat at all, which is why we're just going to do a flash sear on high for a total of 3 to 4 minutes. While we wait for the skin-on chicken breast to cook, I'm going to prepare my tasty air fryer by connecting the meat thermometer. I'm going to stick the thermometer into the skinless rubbed chicken breast so that we can really monitor the temperature. We don't want to overcook chicken breast. Otherwise, we will have the classic dry, nasty texture. After 4 minutes, I took out the skin on chicken breast, and as you can see, the skin is already nice, crispy, and gold, and we're going to place it again, skin down. From here, we'll close the air fryer tray and set the temperature to be 380 degrees Fahrenheit. Set our timer to 7 minutes, and that's how long we're going to cook this first side of the chicken breast. After 7 minutes are over, we are going to flip over the chicken breasts, and now just keep an eye on the temperature of the meat. Once the meat thermometer reads 165 degrees Fahrenheit, that's how we'll know that our chicken breasts are at its prime. And this is the perfect temperature to reach for the juiciest yet most tender chicken breast meat. For my chicken breasts, it took just 3 minutes to reach the 165 degrees Fahrenheit mark. Just look at that golden, deep color on this skin. I was so excited to see how juicy they still looked fresh out of the air fryer. So from here, we're going to quickly transfer it onto some type of rack so that it can rest and work its magic. After about 5 minutes of resting, I decided to serve it up on a nice rustic looking cutting board, and I sliced both chicken breasts into strips. I felt like this is the most presentable for something as boring as a chicken breast. Although I will say, again, after trying these chicken breasts, I didn't even know that chicken breast could taste so juicy yet so tender. Just look at the amount of sheer juice dripping out of this slice. Now, of course, we cannot forget about our little Simba. He was so good that I gave him a couple pieces, and he's wearing a cone because he broke his nail while running and playing fetch. So for these chicken breasts, I decided to show you what a typical dipping sauce would look like for my husband. He loves his hot sauces, and I recently found this really cool brand called Gringo Bandito with very clean ingredients. I'll link it down below. And go ahead and dip your chicken breasts in this hot sauce. If you're high-fat carnivore like me, I'll show you a delicious fatty sauce full of flavor later in this video as well. It can be really hard to find clean and reliable products that you can rely on daily to help make your carnivore journey smooth and easy. And so this tasty air fryer right here does just that, because it can pretty much cook any kind of meat to any temperature of your liking with this super cool meat probe it comes with. It looks so good, nice and sleek on the kitchen countertop, and most importantly, it is FDA certified, PFOA and PFOS free. I've pretty much been using this spectacular air fryer to cook all of my meals daily because all I have to do is throw in my meat, set it, and forget it. Once it's done cooking, I can literally take it out and just eat my carnivore meals. Tasty also just launched their brand new ceramic version of the air fryer with some exciting upgrades to take your cooking to the next level. Of course, it's still certified PFOA and PFOS free. Now you can say goodbye to sticky situations because with the naturally non-stick ceramic coating, cooking and cleanup are even more of a breeze. Sometimes I won't even need to wash it in the dishwasher, and all the grease and oil slides right off with a paper towel. If you're interested in the ceramic upgrade, you can check out the link on the screen, tasty.net/steakandbuttergal for $30 off, or by clicking the link down below. Now let's move on to the chicken thighs. And I'll be honest, after making this chicken thigh recipe, I have been craving it and eating it pretty much every single day after. It is just that good. It's actually quite nice to have such a delicious cut of meat that's reliable yet budget friendly, and that isn't beef. So for this chicken thigh recipe, as you can see, I did the same step as before. I started with a quick hot flash sear on my pan, and I cooked it with the skin facing down for a total of 4 minutes on high heat. I know it shows right now as the skin facing up, but I just flipped it over to show you the golden color on the skin. But cook it on the pan with the skin facing down. Then we're going to transfer it into our air fryer tray, just like before with the breasts. I'm going to stick the meat thermometer into one of the chicken thighs so that, again, we can make sure it is flawless by monitoring the temperature. We're cooking at 380 degrees Fahrenheit. I basically just set it at 20 minutes and I just kept an eye on the thermometer. After doing these chicken thighs for a couple times, you can just basically follow my timing. I cooked it with the skin facing down for exactly 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I took out the tray, flipped over the thighs so now the skin is facing up and therefore can crisp a little bit further in the air fryer. And then I cooked it for another 10 minutes. For my 4 chicken thighs, it just needed a total of 20 minutes to reach that perfect temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit. From there, I pulled out the tray. I immediately took the thighs, put it on my plate, let it rest for about 5 minutes again. As if the chicken thighs were not perfect enough, let's whip up a nice fatty dipping sauce. Now, you don't have to use all ingredients. I actually just need the fat and the raw egg yolks, and that's perfect for me. But this is really the best, most complete sauce for those who need the flavor boost. This is basically a nice tangy hollandaise sauce. So the fat that I have here is melted ghee. I dropped in my 2 raw egg yolks. I squirted some mustard, and I dropped in 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Mix it all up really well. You can also use a blender if you want it super whipped and thick, but I just hand mixed it. And this is probably the best dipping sauce that you could possibly make at home. Again, if you are sensitive to mustard and apple cider vinegar like me, just omit those ingredients and mix raw egg yolks with melted fat. Welcome to Bella's Cafe again. I recognize you.
Of course you do. I'm your only customer.
Do you know what zodiac it is this year?
It's the year of the snake. Oh yeah, look at that body.
What does the snake represent?
A snake represents, I have no idea.
What would you like to order tonight?
I want you to put some effort into it. So how about you whip up something that usually doesn't taste great, but you could make really yummy.
Are you implying that I don't put a lot of effort in most of my recipes?
Honestly, you don't, and I think that's the point, because it's super simple, super easy.
But I do put all of my love.
Yeah, I know you do.
Can you taste that?
Oh yeah.
Can I recommend some crispy chicken breast?
That sounds disgusting, actually. I hate chicken breast.
Can you give me a chance to maybe change your mind?
I mean, if you've already made it, sure.
And I'm gonna throw in 2 free chicken thighs. How about that?
It's so generous, babe. Thank you. I love you.
And a free side of golden mayo for you.
Golden mayo?
All
Okay,
right.
sounds amazing. You didn't put Simba's fur in it, did you?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
That's golden glitter.
Thank you.
Coming right up.
A few moments later.
Dun dun dun.
Wow. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my God. It's like Kentucky Bella chicken.
I love that.
KBC.
Yo. I know.
This one's a little bit less.
So upon first glance, what do you think? Does it look dry, juicy, tender?
I mean, it's leaking like a faucet.
Alrighty, this is the money bite,
That is
guys.
a lot of sauce. That's some darn good chicken.
What is that accent?
More, please.
All right, he's going in. That's how you know it's
I don't even like chicken.
it's a good dish. I know. So
Have you ever seen me eat chicken in my life?
no.
Okay.
Ever since I've started dating him, he will always complain that chicken is dry, but most people do, right? So I took this as a challenge upon myself to make juicy chicken for my husband.
In college, I would blend chicken breasts
Yeah?
in a blender with water, protein powder, Brussels sprouts,
I remember.
and I would drink a liter of that every single day
Just to lose weight.
just to lose weight, and it worked. Obviously, I felt horrible. I've never felt worse in my life.
Right,
And then since that day, I've never touched chicken. That's why you've never seen me eat chicken before.
I'm just happy you like it. I specifically chose the skin on because I know that the skin will almost drip into the meat to juice it up, and it worked. It is very tender. This, shout out to Billy Doe Meats. They are the only place that I can eat lamb because they don't age their lamb. And usually when I eat lamb at restaurants or from generic grocery stores, It has this extremely gamey flavor, and I'd love to know if you guys taste it too. It's so gamey that I have to spit it out. I just cannot take that flavor and that pungent aftertaste. So this is not lamb though, but they have the best lamb. This is their beef belly, also non-aged. They're famous for only selling non-aged meat, which is really good for histamine intolerant carnivores who just started, have a lot to heal. They need that non-aged meat to not trigger histamine issues. Let's do a beef belly taste test.
I didn't even know they make beef belly.
Right? Wow.
Bravo.
Are you just being nice today or something?
Am I not nice every day?
You're nice every day, but today you're extra nice.
Aw.
I love you.
Thank you for noticing.
Ooh, what would you rate the sauce?
I mean, what would I rate the sauce?
Oh my gosh. Ten out
10 out of 10. Anyways, compared to a ribeye, it's still a good option.
Yeah.
And if you can make it that juicy and that crispy on the skin, then I think it actually is like a legitimate alternative to beef. That was always my biggest issue with chicken is it tastes so bad.
Right.
But
dry.
this tastes nice.
Thank you.
And it tastes this nice after 3 hours too.
That's a good point. I will be transparent here. I ate a chicken thigh.
Of course you did.
Right when it came out of my air fryer, hot and piping fresh and crispy. I'm not even exaggerating. I would eat that chicken thigh daily. It's so good.
Yeah, I was surprised because earlier in the day you said, babe, come take a look at this. And you pulled out a whole tray of these things. And now there's only 4.
Well, that's what happens at Bella's Cafe when I'm hungry.
The owner eats
I basically eat most of my
supply.
inventory. Yeah, it goes to me.
Great business plan.
If you guys try this recipe, I would love to see your renditions. You all are so great at tagging me, reposting, and then I can see it and just love on all of the posts. Whatever social platform you're on, tag me. And I really hope you guys like this simple, easy yet effective, juicy, crispy chicken breast and thigh.
Did you make this in the air fryer?
I did. Yeah.
Damn.